Okay, so this video is going to be about three main things: less dopamine, more honesty, and being unscripted. Now, every once in a while, I like to create one of these videos that is on the raw side. It's sort of unfiltered, it's unprepared, and most importantly, it's unscripted. Now, when I first started YouTube, I always had this perfectionist mentality where I thought that every single upload, every single video that I made had to be perfect in some way. It needed to be polished. The sound design needed to be amazing. The script needed to be immaculate. And the B-roll footage and the topics that I was talking about needed to be stunning visually. And so this ended up creating this very fake version of myself, where I ended up writing out the dialogue for my YouTube videos word for word, sentence for sentence, paragraph for paragraph, and I would just read it off to the camera. And it appears very robotic, and you can tell by the way that I speak. And so I've tried to get away from that style of content creation, and all of these videos generally are more or less unfiltered or unscripted in some way. Now, from time to time, I will think of the title, so I'll have a general idea of what I'm talking about. But for a video like this, it's just going to be my transparent self. I just wanted to share some thoughts that I've really been thinking about recently. And this is this idea of chasing dopamine. Now, I've been seeing this everywhere in my life, whether it's on people being on their phone, scrolling through TikTok or Instagram Reels or YouTube Shorts, watching the latest series on Netflix, or going on porn websites, or playing video games, or gambling, or whatever the negative bad habit is. Human beings, we are always chasing that dopamine rush. And this is extremely dangerous because I asked myself this one specific question the other day. Why is it so hard for me to just sit still and read a book? And reading is something that I've loved to do because it's part of self-improvement. I've been reading a lot of this. Marcus Aurelius's Meditations, and this is an extremely difficult book to read when you have this ADHD, distracted, low attention span mentality. And the main reason for that is the language in this book is very difficult, or at least for me, it's strange. And so I've really been going over this idea of how can I live my life by removing that dangling carrot of dopamine in every single activity that I do. And just before recording this video, I sat down on this couch where I am right now, and I just had a brief meditation session, and I sort of just sat here like this and tried to just think about nothing and clear my mind. And I have these meditation sessions from time to time, usually in my morning routine, where in all honesty, they only last about 5 minutes or so. I am not some transcendent self-improvement person that has reached higher states of consciousness with some incredible meditation sessions. This is not something that I do. Normally, I try to apply the 80-20 rule for all these habits from self-improvement and just get the biggest bang for my buck. So meditation is something that I try to do as often as I can, but these are generally sessions on the shorter side. And they've always been beneficial for me when it comes to just clearing all the noise out of my mind and putting me at a place where I feel comfortable and honest and not have this perfectionist mentality take over. And so I used to really struggle with this whenever I record these YouTube videos, but I've told myself to just hit record every once in a while and just share my thoughts. And so while reading this book, Meditations, there was a very interesting sentence I came across. I think it was in book 2. Book 2. So I just want to read, it's just one short sentence. Those who are dead to life have no aim for the direction of every impulse. And I highlighted this one sentence in my book. And this is what I usually do when I read. I'm always like highlighting sentences that really spark something in my mind, and I always go back and look at them. And when I was rereading this sentence, those who are dead to life have no aim for the direction of every impulse. And this got me thinking, because this is sort of related to this whole dopamine obsession that people have nowadays, and it's all these impulses that you have in your life. If you always act on them and you never resist them, and if you never delay instant gratification, then those impulses will take control of your life. And this was something that I struggled with gambling, obviously. I am someone that still loves gambling to this day. I love betting with friends and family. I love playing cards. I love going to the casino, playing poker, betting on the basketball game, sports, anything. Anything to do with money. That is my weakness when it comes to dopamine and that rush that you get, that excitement. And so that is an impulse that I've had to control. Now, some people have this impulse in the form of alcohol, or maybe food, or maybe drugs. There are a ton of vices that people are struggling with, that people are addicted to, and that people have. And this very simple quote from this old dude who was an emperor many, many, many years ago really got me thinking. It's that those who are dead to life have no aim for the direction of every impulse. And so I was thinking, why is it so hard for me to just sit down now and read a book? Is it because I'm so addicted to my phone? I'm so addicted to Instagram Reels or TikTok or YouTube Shorts because the information is just so fast paced and all you gotta do is scroll, and you've been bombarded with 10 different types of videos that the algorithm knows you love and enjoy. And so why is it that everything that's simple in life is becoming that much more harder? And people are having all these issues with anxiety and social pressures and self-confidence and just attention spans. And there's all these issues I see everywhere. And I'm not immune to this. I struggle with these feelings as well. However, I try to fight them as best I can. And what I've really learned from this whole self-improvement journey is that by controlling your impulses, by delaying instant gratification, this is where you can make massive strides in your life. And so when it comes to trying to be healthier, for example, when this YouTube channel started, now most of you don't even know this, it was a health and fitness YouTube channel. In the beginning, I was posting my full day of eating videos, my gym videos, my workouts, my cardio routine, what else did I share? Grocery hauls, where I would show the type of vegetables and proteins and carbs that I would buy, and I would record myself weighing out the food on a food scale. Like, this is what this channel was all about. It was just about health and fitness. And that came from a place where I needed to control my impulses for junk food, mainly sweet stuff. And I wanted to get in better shape. So I started to eat better and I started to go to the gym. But this got me down this whole self-improvement niche. And over time, my interests have changed from the physical more to the mental, where I'm trying to find ways to improve my mental health, become a better thinker, become a better speaker, become a person that is self-motivated and disciplined and can make good decisions and say no to those forms of instant gratification and not always chase dopamine and not always be addicted to video games and Netflix and TikTok and whatever other vice there is out there. And this journey it's hard. It's not easy. I'd be lying to you if any of it was. I struggled for many years to develop a reading habit. I struggled for many years to remove candy and sugar from my life. But I haven't even removed it entirely. Just eat less of it. I struggled to get in shape. I was very weak and scrawny, and I had no idea how to lift a barbell or a dumbbell in the gym. All of these things, these are just skills that took time for me to develop. And across all these different skills, the one common denominator was impulse control and resisting to chase dopamine. Now, depending on where you are in your life, or maybe you're just getting into self-improvement, or maybe you found my channel through gambling addiction, whatever it is, whether you're trying to build a better habit or remove a negative one of the best things that you can do is realize how addicted you are to dopamine, or how poor or how bad you are at controlling your impulses. And even with a video like this video is going to be no editing, unscripted. There's not going to be a bunch of flashy cuts and all these YouTube B-roll shots to keep you engaged like the typical YouTube video. And this will probably perform poorly in the algorithm. But how is your attention span? Can you watch a video like this without going down to the comment section? Can you watch a video like this without scrolling on your phone on the side or eating some chips? Can you watch a video like this with all of your focus and attention? If you can't, then maybe that's why you can't develop a reading habit, and you get bored whenever you pick up a book, and you get tired after reading a couple sentences. Because that's how I was. Like when I first started getting into reading all these self-help books and philosophy books and business books, I would be super excited, I'd be motivated, and then I would read the first couple paragraphs, and then all of a sudden I'd get tired and I would get bored and I'd start to yawn, and then my mind would wander off into God knows what, and my attention span would just fall off and I couldn't concentrate on what I was doing. And that is such an important skill to have nowadays if you want to make any positive changes in your life. Is just, again, controlling your impulses, not always chasing dopamine, and to make good decisions in the moment. And it's not easy. It's not easy. Like even right now, I still struggle with these type of things. And I get these comments from people like, how have you figured out your life? You seem like someone that's incredibly disciplined, and you have everything figured out. And the answer is no, man, I don't. I don't. I struggle with this stuff just as much as you guys. And maybe I am better at putting on a mask where I appear very confident and I appear very self-disciplined or motivated. But deep down, I still have tons of issues at the end of the day. However, the difference is that I am always willing to confront them and work on them and improve on something. And whenever I get too complacent or I get lazy and those bad habits start to creep back into my life, I grab them right away and get rid of them. And so again, it's that attention to detail. And there's like a million things that I could probably talk about on this journey. And so I guess the main reason for this video was to just go off on a wild tangent and just share a bunch of bizarre thoughts that I have. And maybe there is one nugget of gold, there is one piece of wisdom in my rambling that really resonated with you. And then you can take that and apply it to your own life. And hopefully that will, make a difference. And so I think that's it. Every once in a while, I will probably do one of these videos, as I find these are incredibly difficult. It's like I'm talking to this lens, this void of abyss where I am getting no feedback. I have no notes, no ideas, nothing to work off of. And it's an incredible amount of pressure, to do something like this in the moment. But I think it's beneficial for me. Because again, I like to share my authentic self. So if you haven't watched one of my live streams, that's when, again, you can see me talk in real time. And there's just this editing game of YouTube. It sometimes bothers me, man. This jump cutting out all the breaths and the ums and the uhs, and making all your sentences sound perfect, and adding background music and sound design and all these different clips and things jumping in and out, holding your attention, because we all have ADHD. Does it always have to be like that? Maybe that's why my channel is not as successful as I'd like it to be. Maybe I need to cater more towards that low ADHD attention span, this TikTok, Instagram stories thing that people love, that dopamine hit, that instant gratification. But then if I do that, it contradicts my message and these beliefs. And so I think that's it. Let me know in the comment section down below if you gain anything useful from this video. And I'll see you next time.